Hola, welcome to Ida's Kitchen. Bienvenidos. My name is Ida Luca McAllister, and I am going to demonstrate how to prepare tomato soup, Sopa de Tomate. This summer we cultivated an excessive amount of tomato plants. We canned tomato sauce and diced tomatoes, and we still have plenty of tomatoes. I asked myself, what else can I do with so many tomatoes? And then I realized that I have never prepared homemade tomato soup. I would like to share with you my simple, easy, and delicious homemade tomato soup recipe. We are going to roast the vegetables using a 10 by 15 by 1 inch baking pan and puree the roasted vegetables with an electric blender. Preheat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's go to my garden to pick some fresh tomatoes. These are the Roma tomatoes, also known as plum tomatoes. They have an egg-shaped appearance. Look how beautiful. These large round tomatoes are beefsteak tomatoes, and they are very sweet. I'm just gonna pick a few. Look how beautiful. Here's the cilantro that I harvested earlier for our tomato soup. Hace mucho calor afuera. It is really hot outside. The tomatoes have been rinsed. I plan to use 2 different types of ripe tomatoes for our soup. 1 pound of beefsteak and 1 pound of Roma plum. However, you can use the tomato of your choice as long as it is ripe. As I prepare all the tomatoes, garlic cloves, onions, and cilantro, they will be placed in this baking pan. So let's get started. I am going to first cut off this end of the plum tomato before it is cut in half. The plum tomatoes have a meaty flesh with a lower water and seed content. They are great for sauces and paste. Since the beefsteak tomatoes are much larger, carefully remove the core before cutting the tomato into several sections. These tomatoes are juicy with a meaty flesh that has a rich tomato flavor. Excellent for placing tomato slices on your burgers or sandwiches. For this recipe, you will need half of an onion. This is a large red onion that has been peeled. So let's cut the onion in half. Cut the half onion into several sections. Red onions are my preference because they tend to be sweeter, but you can use a white or yellow onion. I love garlic, so I am going to peel 5 garlic cloves. You can reduce or increase the quantity of garlic cloves according to your taste. These are 3 sprigs of fresh cilantro, a member of the parsley family. Remove the cilantro leaves from the stem. In our culture, we cook a lot with cilantro, which is also the cousin of our popular herb known as culantro. Such beautiful colors in these vegetables, especially the fresh tomatoes with a deep red color. Before we roast the vegetables, drizzle some extra virgin olive oil on top, about 3 tablespoons. Let's season with light salt. A half a teaspoon. And ground peppercorn. About a quarter teaspoon. Now with my hands, I am going to mix all the vegetables to coat them completely with the oil and seasoning. Roasting the vegetables will caramelize the natural sugars in the onions and tomatoes for a concentrated sweetness. Place the roasting pan in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes or until the vegetables are soft. The vegetables are beautifully roasted. They are soft and caramelized. They also have released plenty of liquid. We are ready to add the hot roasted vegetables with liquid into blender. Since the vegetables released plenty of liquid, there is no need to add other liquids like vegetable or chicken stock. Blend at medium speed until a puree is formed, approximately 1 or 2 minutes. After 2 minutes of blending, the tomato soup has a smooth and thick consistency. At this point, you can taste the soup to see if it needs more seasoning. You can either pour the homemade soup into a bowl while it is still hot inside the blender or reheat later in a saucepan. This homemade tomato soup is very healthy without adding any heavy cream or store-bought vegetable stock. This looks so delicious. Garnish the homemade tomato soup with chopped cilantro and croutons. You can also use Parmesan cheese. I love to serve tomato soup with grilled cheese sandwiches prepared with Gouda cheese. Gouda cheese is a very popular cheese in Puerto Rico. We all know that tomato is a fruit, but is usually served as a vegetable, very similar to our plantains and breadfruits. I plan to make several batches of this soup and freeze it to enjoy during the winter months. I am ready to taste this delicious homemade tomato soup. Ooh, it is hot. This soup is very creamy with deep, rich garlic tomato flavors. It makes a huge difference in flavor and texture when using fresh tomatoes. ¡Qué rico! I hope you have enjoyed watching my YouTube video on how to prepare tomato soup, sopa de tomate.